Good Sunday afternoon, guys. I am in the bed. Take this off. Relaxing. It is cold outside. It's probably about 24 degrees last time I checked. And I'll post. Usually I always leave my patio door open so my cats can go outside to their litter pans, which I left on the patio. But I brought them in last night and closed my patio door for the first time. So, and I actually have my heat on today. But I just wanted to talk briefly about my car accident. My car accident happened Monday, January the 26th, probably like 5 something. I was leaving work. I was on my way to a UPS store to drop off a package. I had my phone in the holder above my radio, and I was talking to my sister on the phone, and I had a bag in my hand. It's a gray bag. You might have seen me like getting ready for work. It's a gray bag with a face on the front. It's really a lunch bag, but I've been using it as like not really my purse, but water bottles, coffee cup, my wallet, stuff like that. I've been carrying that every day, and I had that, and I was leaving work, and I was talking to my sister on the phone, and I had the bag in my lap. I think I was getting some water, and next thing I know, I hit somebody's car. So I got out. I put the car in park, cut the car off because I started seeing a little smoke right by the steering wheel. The airbag had deployed, and I opened up the door, I got out, and then I went to the lady that was in front. I asked her, I said, "You okay?" The phone automatically, I guess, disconnected with my sister, and it didn't say you're in an accident. It said something about 911 or something. It just automatically did that. So I was already talking to them when I got out. I was like, "Yeah, I've been in an accident here." And so when I went up to the car, I asked the lady, "Was she okay?" She said yes. There was another lady in front of her. She said she was okay. And then next thing I know, the police was getting there, and somebody else, because I was out my car walking around with my phone, and then I had called called my sister back, told her I was in an accident and stuff like that, and then um the when the officer came, he was like, I said, "Here go my um my license and everything." I said, "But my insurance is in the car." He was like, "Hey," he was like, "Lift your head up," and he was like, well, before he got there, somebody else was asking me, "Was I okay?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I was just walking around, just. So when the officer came, he said, "Lift your head up." And he said, "You're going to need a few stitches. I want you to go over here and have a seat." I had no idea that I was bleeding or anything. When I looked down, I had blood on my shirt. That day I wore like it was blue and white, and then it had a black sweater piece. So okay, so he just wanted me to sit down, and he called a medic for me because he was like, "You need some stitches." Everybody was okay, and let's see. So the medic came, and the lady was asking me, she said, "Let me look." And then they take your vitals and everything. And then she said, "Yeah, it looks like you're going to need a couple of stitches." I said, "Okay, well, the accident happened right in front of the urgent care center. So I was like, I just walk right there, get the stitches or whatever. I wasn't speeding, I wasn't anything, but I did have that bag in my hand, and in that instant, So learn from my mistake, guys. Just be careful. Not even a moment. I drive that road every day. I'm never speeding. My speeding day's been over. So I got even I got stickers on the back of my car say I'm not driving slow. You're speeding because I just do the speed limit. I don't, nothing. But so I went to urgent care. So you see, I got 5 stitches. I gotta look at that paper to see when they come out. I gotta go. I told my doctor about it, and he said he would take them out for me when it's time. But I gotta look at the paperwork and see how long they need to stay in or something. Other than that, I did have some. My chest was hurting a little bit, so I wanted to make sure because you know that I had the double mastectomy and that I have the expanders inside. There is saline inside them, even though I didn't get them filled up. But I was just concerned. Okay, did I bust them or anything? I did have my seatbelt on. Um, I wasn't speeding, but I don't know. So when I went to the urgent care, they gave me the um, he gave me the stitches first, and they just numb you, just like if you was going to the dentist and they numb you, so you gonna feel that little bit. I was like, oh my God, it wasn't hurt, but it did hurt. I did feel it that he was numbing me to get ready to do the stitches. And then he immediately started doing the stitches and I could feel. He said, oh, you could feel it? I was like, yeah. But I wasn't hauling, I wasn't crying or nothing like that, but I could feel it. Then he gave me a little bit more then. Okay. So after he finished doing that, then they took me back and gave me a CAT scan with contrast. Because I guess with the contrast they could see if any fluid was leaking in my chest cavity, because with the double mastectomy they remove all the you know everything is removed out except for the skin. They took my nipples, everything, so they removed everything out. And I have expanders and they are sewn on top of my pectoral muscles. The expanders I've shown in multiple pictures before. They look like implants. I'm going to just tell you that they look exactly like implants, but they are flat. And the difference between the implants and the expanders is the expanders have 5 tabs on them. And those are what's sewn to my pectoral muscle. And most people get them filled to whatever cup size they want to be. But I just didn't like it. I don't like the foreign body in my body, so I didn't get them filled that much. And that's why you see the difference. I don't really care. But at any rate, I wanted to make sure that I had not bust them open, that they wasn't leaking or anything. So the contrast on the CT scan would show that, but nothing. Only thing was the doctor was like, oh, your potassium is low. Eat a couple of bananas. So I finally bought some bananas yesterday. So I'll try to have a banana every day to get my potassium up. But other than that, guys, I was able to go to work the next day. I feel good. I'm not having any problems. I still have the stitches in. They don't really hurt. It just feel like one girl was like, oh, your neck. I was like, it's nothing wrong with my neck. But it just feels like I don't lift my head up, and I won't pull them open, but it just feels a little different. But I wanted to come and tell you about the accident. I'll try to put a picture up. But my car, when I got it towed later on, when I left the urgent care after I got my stitches and everything, and I got my car towed home, I rode home with the tow driver. He said they're probably going to tow your car because of airbag. This is my first ever accident, guys, that I've been in. I never had an accident, especially one that I caused. So, never, been in a medic like for an accident or nothing. I was like, oh my gosh. But I didn't go anywhere in the medic, but I did. They put you on I got on the stretcher, it raised up, and then it just rolled right in. and the lady checked me out. And, at that time, I mean, by then the police had already told me that I needed the stitches. So she said, yeah, you need the stitches. And then I left my shirt up to let her see, what she thought. She was like, yeah, you should get something, make sure. So that's what happened. It happened Monday, January the 26th, probably like 5 something in the afternoon. So, of course, my family and my bosses at work and, were concerned, my family, but I'm doing okay. So, I'll try to put a picture up of my car as well with the video. But I know I said I was gonna do the video. I'm like, let me do it today. I did my nails. I already put that up there. I'm not gonna cook dinner today. I think I posted a video the other day of the short rib rana. I think it's called short rib ravioli. So I still have a little bit of that left, guys, because I went out yesterday, which was Saturday, and I went to a restaurant called Tibby's. If you never heard of it, it's a New Orleans style restaurant. And me and my coworker went there yesterday, and the food was good. And I think I did a video I showed you last night because I watched the fight and I ate that last night. So I had that. And the other thing is I was saying to my coworker too, because see, I just don't eat a whole lot of food now. And so I was going to have that. Then I went up to Twin Peaks because that's where I was going to watch the fight last night and was going to have to order some food there. And matter of fact, the young lady had come to me because I had sat down at the bar and everything. But I knew when I got there that the fight, not the main event, but the other fight should have already been on. And I was looking around at the TVs and I was like, well, what is this stuff that they showing here? It was UCF, but they were showing another box, but they wasn't showing, the zone box. And so I got up and I went and talked to the hostess, and she said, yeah, they had technical difficulty. So I'm glad that I went and asked before I start making an order. And then I just went on ahead and came home and ordered the fight. That was my first time ordering the fight, so that was the first for that. First time for the, going up to watch the fight. Generally, I go to Dave & Buster's. I had already made a reservation for the Dave & Buster's, and I canceled it once I was in the car accident because I was like, okay, well, one, I was in the car accident, so I didn't have my car, and two, the weather was going to be so cold, I was like, I'll just stay in. But then when I went out yesterday, it was like 50-something degrees when I went out yesterday, but I was like, in the end, I was like, even though I wasn't really rooting for anybody, I just wanted to see the fight. I guess it was so much a little, hype. And so I went out last night, to go to Twin Peaks. And I did go up there, but they weren't even showing the fight. So when I came home, I ended up ordering the fight because I don't have the zone. So I ordered the fight, and I saw 3 fights. Castro, then I saw the Davis, and then I saw the main event. So it was a good card. So that was a first. I had a lot of firsts this week with the car accident, so, but I'm fine. And y'all have a good day. And I guess it's going to be cold tomorrow as well. So I don't know. My next events are all, well, today is February the 1st, girl. This month I have 1, 2, 3 events this month. I'm going to be going back to the Dr. Phillips Center where I saw the, I forgot the name of that event I went to, guys, at the Dr. Phillips Center. It was nice, too. I can't think. The orchestra. Girl, you going down. So, yeah, I'm going back there, and I'm going to see the Bethune-Cookman Chorale because my daughter used to go to that college. So I'm going to see that. Then the rodeo is Valentine's Day. I'm going to that. And I have bought 2 tickets to that, guys. One, I bought a ticket when I first looked at it because it comes every year about the same time, right? And I don't know what made me last week saw it on something came across my timeline, and I bought another ticket. And I always go by myself, so I got one seat over here, I think in section 215, and one section 219. So now, and there's no refunds. So I have an additional one seat ticket. If you hear about this and you're interested, you live in Kissimmee, it's by the Chutes, because I always try to get the best seats. So um, if you're interested. If not, I'm going to just chuck it up as a loss. So I'm going to that on Valentine's Day. And then I'm flying to Maryland the following week for my nephew's 9th birthday. So I got a couple things going on in February. I don't have anything going on in March. Now, they have the Gator Nationals in Gainesville, Florida, and I've never been. One, because I know that I don't want to sit in the bleachers. I'm going to reach out to somebody. I think he told me he went to Gator Nationals, or if because I do not like to sit in the bleachers. I don't care what race it is. I just don't like to, so I don't want to, but I'll reach out to this guy to see if you have to actually sit in the bleachers. Because like I did at Bradenton, I was able to bring my chair up and sit at the fence. That's what I like to do. So I'll check on that, because if you have to sit in the bleachers, then I probably won't go to the event. But that's the next big race that I can think about, and that's in March. That's every March, the Gator Nationals. Okay, guys, so have a good Sunday. This is a long video. I do apologize, but I did want to come on and tell you about my accident that I had. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Have a good one. Have a good week.